In a silent corner of the city, Elise was returning home from her nightly jog, unaware that death was waiting for her right in her living room. With headphones on and the volume at its peak, she couldn't hear her roommate's dying screams. As she stepped into the bathroom, she came face to face with a massive masked killer known as Loverboy. Before she could grasp the situation, Elise's life was cut short by the plunge of his blade. A few days later, Phoebe and her friends were struggling through exam prep at the college library. Desperate for money, Phoebe felt forced to take a babysitting job. However, overwhelmed by her studies, she pleaded with her boyfriend Tom to take her place. Tom was a wrestler by profession, but in a cruel twist of fate. He had just earned a measly $20 despite winning a brutal match. Broke and reluctant, he agreed to head out to a remote, isolated house to watch a girl named Grace for the foster couple, Gil and Barb. Upon arriving, Tom found the house completely cut off from the world, nestled near a dark forest. The couple handed Grace over to Tom's care and headed out, mentioning that Grace wasn't Gil's biological daughter. As Tom locked the front door, he had no idea that someone was watching them from the shadows like a hungry wolf. As the night deepened, Tom ordered pizza. The delivery guy recognized Tom as a wrestling star and happily took a selfie with him. But as the boy returned to his car, he noticed someone lurking in the dark. Driven by curiosity, he went to investigate, only to be met by Loverboy, who slit his throat in one swift, brutal move. Inside the house, hell was preparing to break loose. From the attic door to armed masked intruders, Bernie and Spin had descended. Hearing Grace's scream, Tom's wrestler instincts kicked in. He splashed boiling water onto Bernie's face to incapacitate him and engaged in a violent struggle with Spinhead. Even after Spinhead stabbed Tom in the foot, Tom overpowered him and tied him up securely. Tom soon realized the danger was far greater than he imagined. Investigating the attic, he discovered human skulls and mysterious ritualistic items used for devil worship. Spinhead confessed their true goal: to kidnap Grace and a girl named Phoebe. Meanwhile, the situation spiraled out of control as Phoebe arrived at the house with her friends. Mike was murdered inside the car in a gruesome manner before he could even escape. The biggest shock came when Gil and Barb Foster returned. Tom initially thought they were his salvation, but it was soon revealed that they weren't victims, they were high-ranking members of the cult. They planned to sacrifice both Phoebe and Grace to achieve eternal life. The cult leader, Jackal, used the power of a demonic doorway to infuse his followers with supernatural strength. Even the deceased Mike returned as a demonic zombie and killed his own friend, Christine. Tom was forced to fight both the zombie and the monstrously transformed Spinhead alone. The most terrifying moment occurred when Loverboy activated a living skull. The skull shrieked with a hunger for human flesh. However, thanks to little Grace's bravery, she managed to stab Loverboy, sending him falling into the clutches of the very skull he served, becoming its meal. Jackal claimed that if Phoebe wasn't sacrificed, the world would face destruction. Ignoring the threats, Tom smashed the cursed skull into pieces. In the final showdown, Grace drove the pizza delivery car and slammed into Jackal, launching him through the demonic doorway into another dimension. Together, Tom, Phoebe, and Grace managed to decapitate the hulking brute. Meat Barb continued to cheer for the cult like a fanatic until a single punch from Phoebe silenced her. At dawn, as Tom, Phoebe, and Grace fled the cursed property, they didn't realize that the terror hadn't truly ended. Standing by the road was Bernie, his eyes glowing with a demonic light. In his hand, he held the shattered but still living skull, which continued to wail, "Feed me."